we go from this to this using this and some wires, and we show you how here on Model Railroad Talk. So stick around because we're going to get this show on the tracks. Howdy, Model Railroad Talk fans. Welcome to this video. We are going to show you how we added lights to our Casey's store, and not just your typical lighting, but we actually put lighting in the fuel canopy as well to simulate the lights up above without being big and bulky and without having to run a ton of actual regular wire. This is something that I didn't come up with. Actually, the first time I seen it was actually on a video for Jerry Leone. If you don't know who he is, he's a master model railroader. Check him out on trains.com. He's all over in model railroading, but he had used it on one of his buildings, so you don't have to try to find a way to run wires and have a whole bunch of wires. And doing that using this. Now, what you don't, most people will look at this and they're like, what is that? Why, yeah, it's copper. What this is actually copper tape. And by using this, you can eliminate a lot of extra wiring and hide things much better and make it look a lot better and cleaner. So you might be asking yourself, well, copper tape, maybe you've never heard of it, maybe you have. Copper tape is basically, it is really thin, and I'll get a piece off here, and I just destroyed a little piece taking my tape off, but and actually that's perfect. You can see it comes on a roll. I bought this off Amazon. I want to say I got 2 rolls. There's like a 500 foot, maybe 1,000 foot, I don't remember, for under 10 bucks for 2 rolls of this. And this is my first roll. My other roll I haven't even touched yet, and I barely use this. But as you can see, what it is it's actually copper, and it has sticky on the back, adhesive on the back, to where you can stick it in different places. It sticks to most items, but this is a great way to get yourself to where you're not having a whole bunch of wires, right? And the other thing I will show you in here, I get these off of Amazon if I can get my fingers to work. These are micro LEDs, and these are the warm white LEDs. They're very, very small. Let's see if this is a HO scale car. You can see, you can almost probably put it in there as a headlight, right? But as you saw right here, they're bright, and they're the right amount of brightness for what we're doing here. It gives it that nice dull glow and allows us to simulate what you normally see every day. Now, what I'm showing you here, as you can see, this is my Casey's module. Yes, it's a little dusty. I work on it off and on to give myself a break from working on the rest of the railroad. But as you can see, what I'm using is just like tacky glue to hold everything here, just in case I ever want to remove it or I need to work on things. But for starters, you can see I used the copper tape along the inside. Now, there is a cover that goes on this, and I'm going to try to do this because I'm balancing both here. There is a cover that I made for this. The kit, this is a Summit Customs kit that I built. It does not come with a cover. I made the cover for it so you can hide all this, okay? But instead of having wires running through here and then you have to tie in, and by the time you do all the connections, secure connections and stuff, your wiring can get real bulky. So basically what I did, I took the micro LEDs and I drilled holes, in a sense, right above the openings where cars would be, glued those in each spot, had them have the tape running, and I have this tape just kind of help holding it down. But as you can see over here, the red runs to this one, so your power and your ground is on this one, and all you got to simply do is solder to it. You can solder to the copper tape, and it transmits it the power. And as you can see, it's a nice, clean, easy way to get power where you want it to go. Believe it or not, you're wondering, okay, well, I have the power up here. How am I getting power up there? Okay, copper tape. We use copper tape again. On this pole support, what I did was I took the copper tape and ran it down one side and then on the back side. As you can see, it's painted. Drilled a hole through, and basically right by where that support is, dropped my wires down, painted those, and if you look real closely right here, you can kind of see where the wire's dropping down, but it's not noticeable. Then I drilled a hole underneath here, hooked my wires up, and that's how I'm getting power to the canopy. All right, now we're going to move on to the building. The building is a lot easier to do. Let's face it, you have all the interior and everything inside to be able to hide everything. So basically what I did to do this is, to start out, to put my lights in, I put 2 cross beams here for 2 reasons. A, somewhere where I could actually put the LEDs, but also so when the roof sits on here, over time it won't sag. It's actually got a little bit of support. And as you can see, I've got LED here and I got an LED here, and I ran, yes, I am still using some wires like we do, but I ran the wires over, and guess what you see right here? Copper tape. Obviously I have it marked positive, negative, so that way down the road, which should be easy to see, but you know, just so it's marked, I use copper tape instead of having to try to glue or somehow adhere wires straight to the bottom. And then I go into my plug. I use these plugs. I get these off Amazon. They're 25, 30 packs, something like that. You get the male and female sides. These are the ones I prefer to use, these plugs right here. I like them because you can get them into small spaces, and that's the same plug I'm using for the canopy. And what's nice is when this is all put together, I set my module into my layout, and I've actually got plugs underneath there that I can plug them in. And then eventually I'm actually going to put a key switch in on the front of my layout here. Like I've showed you in past videos, using it. I am using one for my crossing gate, for my sound module for my crossing gate. But I'm going to put one in for my Casey's and any other lighted structures. So I can walk up, turn them on and off as I need. So yeah, that's what I use, is copper tape. Now, I guess to show you a little more how I have done this, going beyond it, but copper tape is a great way to go. I keep saying that. Yes, I know. It's a great way to be able to run power where you want it without having to run a whole bunch of wires. Now, some applications, it's not the best. Some it's better. The biggest thing is you have to make sure it will stick to whatever it is that you're trying to stick it to. Obviously, if you're trying to do like a road or something and you want to have lighted lines or something, let's say, it may work, but you got to figure out how to make it stick. The other thing I will tell you about the copper tape, I guess, I don't really want to say it's a downside, but it is part of it. The adhesive on the back it's great adhesive. As you can see, this hasn't peeled once. However, when you go to solder to it, it can melt, if you will, the adhesive. So what I did, and especially right down here where I showed you where I've got the power going down under the layout for the canopy, all I did was solder my wires on, and once that was cured, took a little bit of super glue, put it in there, held it in place until the super glue was dry, and it holds it down fine. In fact, that's what I had to do here in every spot that I soldered along there. Basically the same thing with the back side here. Each place I soldered, this was wanting to peel away. The center was holding of each one, but I just put a little super glue in there and it held. So I just wanted to say, I did see somebody had posted on, I don't remember if it was YouTube or a Facebook group or something, that, they really liked the lighted structure look. They just wish they knew how people light things up. Like I said, this is not my idea. It is actually, I got it from Jerry Leone, and on one of his videos. And actually, I think it was from his, I don't remember. It was a video that I know he was on with David Pop from Model Railroader, trains.com. I've got their subscription. And I seen that. I'm like, and that was about the time I was getting ready. I had the structure built. I knew I wanted to light it. Eventually I'm going to do an interior, but I was like, how am I going to do that? I don't want to have a ton of wiring and stuff. And I seen that and I'm like, that's the way I want to go. So, yeah, folks, copper tape, Amazon, wherever, probably Walmart, wherever you can find it. This, I got 2 rolls of it under $10. And as you can see, this roll is still practically brand new. And I have another roll that I haven't even touched yet. I probably will never go through all this, even with all the structures I'm going to be doing, since this is a city scene layout. You can see right back here, I've even got that building's, let's see here, that building right there, it's got an entry light, and I'm going to be putting another light upstairs. These are going to be all lit up and stuff. I'm actually going to be putting lights on the outside. So the Casey's I'm modeling has lights on either side here, basically 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. I'm eventually going to be doing that as well. And guess what I'll use? Copper tape. I'll basically run this around, positive and negative, and then just tie them together with a little jumper wire soldered to it. And then I can run my lines in and just solder them to it. The LEDs I showed you, you can get them, I think they're 20, without grabbing the package, I want to say they're 20 or 25 packs. They do come with, I want to say 3 sets of resistors. So depending on what power you are wanting to use, it gives you a power range. I'm running my power pack that I'm running for my accessories on my layout is actually a 13.4, 13.6, 30 amp power supply. I wanted to make sure I had enough power without dimming everything. So yeah, as you've seen, these light up really, really well. So check it out at your favorite place to get your electronic stuff. Copper tape, COPPER tape. It's a great way to be able to add lighting or run electrical without having to run all the wires. Now, I would not recommend it as a bus wire for your railroad at all. Nothing like that, just more of on the accessory side. Or if, let's say, you got a rail car, like I'm working on getting in some passenger cars for my steam train, excursion train thing I'm working on building. And when I go to do the cars for those, yeah, I'm going to have them lit up, and I'll use the copper tape on the inside, because then I don't have to worry about hiding wires. You can paint over it. You won't see it. It's great for that, for accessory purposes. But like I said, I would not recommend using it for power wire for your layout. There you have it. What I use to light that one up, and will be using to light up the rest of my structures and eventually cars on my layout. I want to thank everybody that has liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, and they've also gone over to our Facebook page. Reminder, until April 26th, I'll have a link in the description below. We did a video here not that long ago. We're doing a Broadway Limited giveaway, a gift certificate giveaway, thanks to Broadway Limited, who now supports this podcast. So Check out Broadway Limited at broadway-limited.com. They're a great company. They've been around forever. I've got several of their locomotives for my layout, and I love Broadway Limited locomotive. They're good. Now, there's people out there that dislike them. I've never had an issue with any of my Broadway Limited locomotives. I do have other manufacturer sound equipped locomotives on here. I don't know, Broadway's kind of the oldest one, so as far as putting sound in, and they do quality work. They're not a company that tries to keep up with the neighbors. They do their own thing, and they're a great company. And in fact, we have Curtis from Broadway Limited will be coming out. Trying to think here, the 22nd, Saturday, February 22nd, we had him on our audio podcast for an interview, and great interview, great guy to talk to. So great company. Check out Broadway Limited at broadway-limited.com. Thank you to them also for donating the gift certificate for our giveaway. Like I said, a link in the description below will take you to our form. Our form is basically, we're not going to spam you. We're not going to send out emails. We're not going to put it into a list and start sending emails every day or whatever. We just ask for your name, phone number, email address, and then we have a couple questions as far as the podcast, how you hear about us, that kind of thing. And that's basically just so we can kind of track where people are listening to, and the other information is just so we can get in contact with whoever the winner is. So the drawing will be the following April. I want to say it's May 8th. No, it wouldn't be that. May 6th, something like that. Whatever the following Saturday is after April 26th, which is a Saturday. That's our 104th episode, 2 years. So it's awesome. But you can head over to our Facebook page, Model Railroad Talk. We've got a post pinned to the top about the giveaway. I also shout out to our good friend Eric over at War Bonds for the great intro montage that he does. Anytime I want to make changes to it, he is more than happy to do it, and he does an excellent job. And if you listen to the audio podcast, starting on the 22nd, the interview with Broadway Limited, Curtis from Broadway Limited, you'll hear Eric on there. He's stepped up to do some of our ads for them. But also check out our TikTok channel. And, if you have any questions, reach out to us, modelrailroadtalk@gmail.com. I will try to answer what I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you, and I'll try to find the answer for you and get in contact with you. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody that's gotten us to this point. I almost every day our subscribe count goes up, and I absolutely love it. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and like we always say, keep your train on the tracks.